The following is paid programming.
It's time to talk taxes.
New friends, new opportunities, new partners. EG Tax.
It's Ask the Tax Lady with Esther Gulius and EG Tax on News Radio 930 WBEN. To reach Esther now, call 803-0930. Toll free at 1-800-616-9236. And cell calls are free at star 930. And now, live from the WBEN studios, it's Esther Gulius.
Hey everybody, this is the Tax Lady, and we're gonna get you so you know what's in the BBB bill, and I'm not talking about the Better Business Bureau, the big beautiful bill. We want to make sure that you know what you need to do to get the best advantage in 2025. I was listening, actually I was reading an article the other day that said it's a shame because people won't really know what's in the bill till after they file their returns, but they don't live in Buffalo. And that's what we got. Ask the Tax Lady here, and we're here to help you. And I got Tiffany Fabian in studio with me. Hey, Tiff.
Hey, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to you, and it's a hot one.
It's a scorcher. It really is. It's a great day.
Summer in Western New York.
Chris was doing yard work with Gracie, and they would do some yard work, and then they dip in the pool, and then they do some yard work, and then they take a dip in the pool. A great
Well, that
great day
makes
for
it
that.
all worthwhile. And speaking of Chris, and we have Christopher Fabian. Hey, Chris.
Hello, Esther.
Hello, Chris. Was it fun dipping in the pool?
Oh, yes, always is.
Okay, so I'm really excited to get everybody that's listening to know what's in the BBB bill and what they need to do if they want to capture some of these things and some of the things they don't have to do. It's just automatic, right?
Right,
Yep.
right. Yep.
Yep,
There's
like-
a lot of good things out there, a lot of
I'm sure.
confusing things, but that's why we're here.
I'm sure
Right.
the employers.
So the first thing they
tracking.
did, and everybody was concerned because the Trump tax cuts that were initiated when he was first president were going to expire December 31st, which everybody talked about the gigantic tax increase. That's not going to happen. So thank God those are all still in, and what was is going to be, right?
Correct.
Okay, the standard deduction is going to increase over last year. It was already large, but now it's 31.5 married joint and 15,750 if you're single. Okay, but here's the first thing. Seniors over the 65 or over get an additional $6,000 in deductions even if they don't itemize. Now, do they need to do anything to get that? As long as
Well,
their income
collect
is under
Social Security.
150,000 and they're joint, 75 if they're single. Pardon me?
Collect Social Security.
No, they get that even if they don't collect Social Security. They get 6,000.
because of their age.
Right, because of their age. It was interesting because there, Trump was saying that it was going to be Social Security was going to be tax free. That isn't the case.
Right.
They're now getting a $6,000 deduction. And does that cover the taxable Social Security? Probably not in most cases. But for a married couple, it's $12,000 as long as their income is under $150,000.
Right, right.
That's
But
pretty
if somebody's
significant.
in the 22% bracket, $6,000 times 22% is what, 12,400? Something 12,200 or $1,200.
I was going to say it's $1,200. Right, but so it's a wonderful thing. So if you're a senior, by virtue of being age 65 or older, you will get the $6,000 deduction even if you don't itemize.
Yep. So there goes things that you get without having to do anything.
Right, you just by virtue of being you. Now, the child tax credit for kids under the age of 17, it was $2,000 per child. Now it's going to $2,200. And it's going to be indexed for inflation going forward.
Wow.
So if you had two kids under the age of 17, your taxes are going to go down by $400. They already would have gone down by $4,000, but you're going to get an extra $400 this year, and then next year index for inflation.
So there's, again, nothing you have to do except
Nothing you have
for
to do.
have a baby.
Just keep having babies, right? Now, this is something that people need to pay attention to. You know, we live in New York State. New York State is a high tax state. The other states said, we don't want to give New York State and California and Massachusetts and Illinois a big tax break because they're high tax states. And so we just wanted to keep the state and local taxes at a maximum of $10,000. But they liberalized that. So now the first $40,000 you pay in state and local taxes. So state withholding, state sales tax, state property taxes you pay. The first up to $40,000, if you itemize, is going to now qualify as a deduction.
Thank goodness.
But you do have to do something about that
Right.
because you need to pay your property taxes.
Yep.
You need to have state withholding. If you're doing state estimates, those all get into there. If you're buying a new vehicle, your state sales taxes would be part of that equation. But that's a big change, the $40,000 state and local tax deduction.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
huge.
There were so many people that weren't itemizing that now will be
Will
able to
probably-
itemize. New York
That's-
State didn't take privy to that cutoff of the salt, but
So
now
here, this is for people with income up to $500,000, okay?
Yeah.
And so since 37% is the top rate, that's where they come up with all these tax breaks are for the wealthy, because the wealthy are the ones that are paying the taxes. And every deduction is multiplied by your tax bracket. So if you're in the 30% bracket and you have $40,000 in state and local taxes, you will save $12,000.
that's right.
Whereas if you're in a 10% bracket, you'd save $4,000 if you came up with the whole $40,000. So I wanted to make sure that people understand that when they're writing these articles, it is true that people that are upper income, if they qualify for a benefit, unless it's phased out, they are going to save more than somebody that's in the 10% tax bracket.
Right. But the people still in the 10% bracket still save
Still get-
money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm Esther Gulius, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. You can text us at 716-8030930. And we got our man from the islands waiting. Hey, Kevin, how can we help you?
Yeah, hey guys, how we doing? Good morning.
Good.
Good afternoon, sorry. Hopefully I'll be much better after speaking with you. Did I miss the bus as far as the big beautiful bill is concerned? I had a deadline to meet, so, financially to get the benefits of, securing myself a new vehicle, and I got that exactly on the 30th of June. Did I miss it because the bill was
Did you get an electric vehicle?
No way, Jose. Don't tell me Trump was signing off. Don't tell me Trump was signing off.
So
That was
Kevin,
a condition.
what kind of benefit did you think you missed?
Well, did he get an American car? Was it manufactured in the United States?
Yeah, but some of the parts, came from like Japan.
But what is it that you thought
Well,
you
he
missed?
would get if he
Probably
gets
the
a loan.
interest.
If he has a loan, the interest.
Okay,
Oh,
but
right,
Kevin,
yeah,
what
yeah.
did you think you missed?
Well,
That
I
deduction.
knew the thing when I heard about this big beautiful bill was that if you purchase a new vehicle, not used, and that's all I heard. That's all I heard.
And
from
it's
my man.
and it's a U.S. car.
No,
No.
it didn't.
Okay.
No, it's,
So
no,
if
it's
you
a-
purchased a new vehicle, and I'm getting to this, if you purchased a new vehicle and you pay interest and it was assembled in the United States, you still would qualify for the interest deduction if you don't itemize up to $10,000.
So you didn't miss anything. Did you say it was a foreign or U.S. car?
Well, it was assembled here in the U.S. I can see why it was. It was a Subaru, and that has a great resale value.
Yeah, it does.
and
Love.
Okay,
That's-
well, let me tell you what cars assembled in the America qualify. The Tesla
man.
Model Y, the Tesla Model X, the Tesla Model S, the Honda Passport, the Honda Odyssey, the Honda Ridgeline, Volkswagen ID-4, Toyota Camry, Jeep Wagoner, and Lexus TX350. Those are the ones that
So,
qualify.
Well,
so
not a
you should
lot.
take the Subaru and get. I guess you sort of did miss in some ways, Kev. But you
Yeah,
got.
yeah. Well, I had a Toyota, Venza. Everybody and the brother and the dog want to buy it from me, but it's like 14 years old,
Yeah,
and
Subarus are
change.
great resale.
Yeah.
So anyway, had you bought a U.S. assembled vehicle, even though it's a foreign car, your interest on this new purchase would be deductible up to $10,000.
Awesome.
Even if you don't itemize. So it looks to me like, Kevin, yours won't qualify.
Right. Well, itemizing as far as I use it for work too. So will that help qualify it?
For business expenses on the New York State return, possibly. Good question. Very good question.
So do you use your car in your job,
Yeah,
Kevin?
yeah. I use my car. Yeah, I use my personal car. in
Are
my
you
job, yeah.
self-employed?
No, I ain't self-employed.
All right, so it's
I
going to
do have
be
my small business
a deduction on New York State for you. And the sales taxes also, if you itemize.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, well.
You asked
I'm
really
gonna go-
good questions, Kev. While I was driving during the week, I got to hear you call in to, I think Mike and Glenn. They were filling in for David. It was nice to hear you during the week.
Oh, okay. Maybe I
All
need
right,
to get
Kev.
a life.
Well, so stay. You're going to feel like you're still in Jamaica, man, or whatever island you're from.
Trinidad. Not
Trinidad, which is even better. All right, thanks for calling. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. You can text us at 716-8030930. We're going to take a short break. Be back on the other side with your questions. Hey, to us, you are family. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax, with Tiffany Fabian, Christopher Fabian. We're here in studio. We're talking about the BBB, Big Beautiful Bill that just got passed, and we want to make sure that you understand what's in it so that you can maximize your ability to save money this year, because most of these changes are retroactive to 2025. We were talking to Kevin, and we were talking about the deductibility of automobile interest on new vehicles assembled in the United States. And so your interest up to $10,000, if you don't itemize, can be deductible. Now, it would kind of make me feel like, let's say I got a car that's almost paid for, and I think, well, I was going to go buy a car next year. Maybe I'll just trade it in now and put a loan on it, and the interest up to $10,000 would be a deduction. And again, if you're in a tax bracket that's that you have to pay taxes and you're not paying taxes, it might be something you want to think about. So that's one of the things we wanted to make sure that you understand what's out there so you can maximize the deductibility. Again, up to $10,000 is going to be qualify as a deduction without itemizing.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Another thing, this is an interesting thing. If you have a child under the age of 4, the Treasury Department is supposed to open up a savings account for your kid that it's basically, you're talking about it like being an IRA, and parents can contribute up to $5,000 a year until the child turns 18. At that time, the child can take it out to go to college, purchase a vehicle, or start a business. And it would grow tax deferred, and when you take it out, it would be taxed at capital gains rate, which is the gain would be taxed at capital gains rate, which is a good deal, right?
Yep.
And this is available, and then children under the age of 8 would also qualify, but they're not going to get the $1,000 perk from the federal government. So that's something else to look at.
That's pretty cool.
Here's an interesting thing. Private school vouchers, initially they had said it was going to be $5,000. What it turns out to be is $1,700. And it's kind of weird because what you have to do, if you got your kid in a private school, you have to make a donation to a 501c3 funding scholarship charity. and that would give you a right of $1,700 to come back to you as a credit. So you get the whole. So you put the $1,700 in the 501c3 credit funding a scholarship charity, and then you get a full $1,700 tax credit on the federal, and anything over that amount that you give will be carried forward to the next year. So that's kind of weird. It's
Very
the first time they
confusing.
ever did that, where you make a contribution, it's 100% credit.
But the contribution has to be so that you could send your child to a private school.
Right. Or a school of choice. Or you could be homeschooled.
Right. Options.
Right. So anyway, why don't we go to, should we do a text or a phone call?
Jana. Let's go to Jana.
Hey, Donna. How are you?
Jana.
Jana.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, this is
Can I
Gene.
help you?
Gene.
Gene. Well,
Oh, hi,
we're
Gene.
just changing your name to Jana.
Well, that'll work.
What can we do for you, Gene?
Okay. You mentioned it already that for married filing jointly, the standard deduction will now be $31,500.
Right.
Okay. Now, is the $1,600 per person over 65 still included in the new rules?
Yes.
It is. Oh,
Yes.
well, that's good.
And
Now-
the 6,000.
Okay, on the 6,000 or 12,000 for
Right.
married
Filing,
filing
if you're
jointly.
both 65 or older.
Right, both 65 or older. It's only good up to 150,000 adjusted gross income, and then it goes down to zero at 250,000.
Right. There's a phase out.
Okay, is it just a linear phase out?
Well, Lynn, yeah, it goes down X amount per $1,000 over the floor.
Okay, per thousand. Okay. The reason I ask is that there are many different articles online, and they all give different information.
Well, you know,
Yeah, the wrong standard
what you're doing
deduction.
is you're getting
Yeah.
really somebody that's writing an article that doesn't necessarily know tax law, number one. But number two,
Right.
it's so young. Like, for instance, up till a couple days ago, I thought the school voucher was $5,000. Come to find out, it's $1,700, and it isn't really a voucher. It's an itemized. It's a charitable deduction. So, you know, I think until they really codify the law, we're really not going to know all the details.
Yes. And when I looked on IRS.gov, they haven't done that.
Right.
They still have old information.
Right.
What a surprise.
What a surprise.
Well, that's why I try really hard to be up to date, because I'll tell you, some of these things, you still have 6 months to make it so that you get a benefit for it. But
Right.
in your situation, if both you and your wife are 65, you're going to get the 12 plus the over
Right.
65 deduction plus the increased standard deduction. So that means that you won't pay taxes much at all on your income.
Well, yes, I will.
Oh, well, you're
Streams of
blessed
income
then.
And over 150,000, so AGI.
Yeah, well,
That's a good
That's
problem.
you'll lose,
I'm
you'll
just
lose
trying
that
to
part of that
understand.
12.
So that I withhold enough
But
money.
you're not working, are you?
Yes.
Okay, so have you thought about putting money into an IRA?
It's going into a Roth IRA.
No, but have you thought about a traditional? And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because with that, let's say that your income's $170,000, and if you and your wife contribute to an IRA, that'll knock it down to just at the 150,000 mark, and so you'd get the full 12.
And how much can you contribute to a traditional IRA?
Used to be 7,500, right?
What? You guys got it.
8,000.
8,000.
How much?
So it'd be 8,000 apiece.
8,000.
Right, so 16,000. So you'd get rid of
Yeah.
everything over the. It's a way to kind of skin the cat, so to speak. So by putting it into a traditional IRA, you'd still get the full benefit or close to it of the 12, and it might work out better for you that way.
Okay. And you can still have the 8,000 going into a Roth IRA at the same time?
No, you
No,
can. You
one
have
or
to
the
do one
other.
or the other. Right.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate good information.
Well, thank you. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Gene.
Stay cool.
I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. You can text us at 716-8030930. We have some text here, right, Tiff?
Yep. The first one says, gang, my mom and dad purchased their personal home in 1972. When my dad passed away 14 years ago?
In 2014.
In 2014, my mom put my brother and I on the deed. When my mom passes, what will be the tax implication for my brother and I?
Well, so when you inherit a piece of property, and I'm assuming that there was no life estate done, that your name was just added to the deed. If you inherit a piece of property, then the fair market value at the date of death of the person to whom the estate was affixed would mean that you would get a stepped-up basis. So if your mom and dad paid $10,000 for the house and put $20,000 in improvements, their adjusted basis is $30,000, but upon their death it was worth $300,000. If you had inherited it, the IRS would say, oh, it's like they paid $300,000, so if they sell it for $300,000, there's no gain. But when your name is affixed to the title prior to the death of the person that's you're inheriting the estate from, then it goes all the way back to their cost basis plus improvements. So you would get a small stepped-up basis from Dad's fair market value in 2014, but pretty much you guys are going to pay taxes. Now, if Mom's still living, I can't see why you wouldn't take your name off the deed, put Mom's name on it so that it can go through the estate, especially if Mom's not in a nursing
Right,
home.
if mom's in good health.
That would be
and
very
you're not
smart.
anticipating she will go. So that's something to think about. And really, it's a very complicated situation. So if you want no charge information, we would be very happy to help you guys. You can call us at 632-7886 or go to our website at egtax.com. All right? Well, anyway, we're at the bottom of the hour. We're going to have to break for the news. We'll be back on the other side, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. We'll talk to you on the other side. Hey, to us, you are family. I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady from EG Tax. We're trying to get you up to snuff here on the big, beautiful bill so that you understand what's available to you and when it's available. And you can see that from our last caller that maybe there's another way around because these things phase out based upon income. And if you use something like an IRA because you're working to modify your adjusted gross income to take advantage of some of one of these tax breaks that are in the law, hey, all the better, right?
That's right.
That's right.
All right. All right.
And
we have another text or we have a
Yep,
caller?
we've got two texts, and the first one says, I was multitasking when you read the specific cars that were eligible for the deduction. Could you please repeat this? And thank
Sure.
you.
Okay, so remember, in order to get the deduction for up to $10,000 in interest that you're paying on your car loan, it has to be a new car and assembled in the United States. And so we know that, the American cars are assembled in the United States, but here's some of the foreign cars that are qualify. Tesla Model Y, Tesla Model X, Tesla Model S, Honda Passport, Honda Odyssey, Honda Ridgeline, Volkswagen ID.4, Toyota Camry, Jeep Wrangler, and Lexus TX350. So ATVs, trailers, and campers are not eligible for the new tax deduction. So,
Okay.
okay?
That's not a lot of cars. It's not. But anyways.
Well, no. Remember, these are foreign cars.
Those are the foreign
These
cars.
are foreign cars.
Not all the cars.
But if you get a Ford that was assembled in Cleveland,
Oh,
right?
gotcha.
Or a
Sorry.
GM that was assembled in Buffalo,
Okay, beautiful. So, okay, thank you for clarifying.
You're very welcome for clarifying.
I just want to say too, if you want to meet us in person, you can come to our office and we can go over changes. You can call us
next weekend.
We're-
You could come visit us.
I was gonna.
I stole your thunder.
You stole my thunder. Next Sunday, So a week from tomorrow, we're going to be at Camp Pioneer for their Pioneer Fest, and you
And
can.
do we have to dress up like pilgrims?
It'll be hot.
No, Dora the Explorer. No, but we'll be there. You can come meet us live in person, and we'll love to answer your questions. You'll hear some great music.
Stephen Curtis Chapman will be there. It's a Christian concert, so
Right.
It's a great opportunity. It's a family event. There's going to be face painting and bounce houses and stuff. Chris, you cannot go in the bounce house.
Oh,
And we're going to have some literature about the big, beautiful
the big,
bill,
beautiful bill, right?
some handouts and details
Okay,
about our
and
tax
we have
school.
another text here.
We do. It says, Esther, I thought the tax changes were for 2026 tax year, not 2025. Please clarify.
Some of them are for 2026, but the permanent tax rates, the TCJA 2025, the child tax credit 2025, and it phases out in 2028. But it's indexed until 2028. The SALT deductions 2025 till the end of 2028. Let's see, deductible car interest 2025 until the end of 2028. Okay, and this one we just are going to talk about right here. This is a big change. If you're somebody that gives to charity, but you couldn't take it as a deduction because you couldn't itemize before, now the first $1,000 you give to charity if you're single, $2,000 if you're filing a joint return is deductible even if you don't itemize.
That's pretty cool. They've done this before, but the limit was 300, so this is much more
this
significant.
is a lot. Now, bear in mind, when you're doing your tax return, you're going to be tempted to just put down $1,000 or $2,000 when you're filing a joint return. The truth of the matter is, it's if you gave that much.
Yeah, and
So if you gave $1,800, that's what you can put down is $1,800 if you're filing a joint return.
yeah, and then Esther, we just got a big, large text. It says we are of ages 74 and 80. File as married joint with income of required minimum distribution 110,000. Social Security, you might want to write this down. Social Security 40,000. Interest and dividends 80,000. Capital gains 100,000. We pay property taxes of 9,000, no mortgage interest, no car loan, state tax about 12K. Will I save on the BBB?
Okay. So you're not going to
Yeah, he's going to save because his standard,
right, the
deduction.
standard deduction went up, and so that's going to save you some money for sure. You may, it looks like you won't be able to itemize because your standard deduction is going to be about 36,000. You will not get the 12 because your income's too high.
it's really close to that. Yep.
I think he's over.
Yeah.
Right? So you probably won't get the 12, so you're
Well,
looking at a
wait.
36,000.
Wait, oh, Chris says wait.
I have an
brakes
idea
on.
for him.
Okay.
Why doesn't he do a QCD?
Well,
with
I was
this?
just going to go there.
Oh,
Go-
everybody's
go on.
stealing everybody's
You talk about
thunder.
it, Chris.
Yeah, so this person here could do a QCD with his RMD. I mean, he doesn't have to do the full 110, but he could do 20,000, 30,000 if he is a what's the word
A charitable.
philanthropic person.
Philanthropic.
There you go. I know numbers, not words.
You got me for that.
But he can do that, or she could do that, and that would bring down the income, which could bring them down under the $300,000 to give them the extra $12,000 standard deduction, so they won't pay tax on that $30,000 that they give through the QCD through the RMD, and then they get the extra. So they just saved on $42,000 at 24%. They just saved almost $10,000.
So
It doesn't
but let's
mention that they-
explain what the QCD is. It's a qualified charitable deduction. So what you're doing on your RMD, your required minimum distribution, you can put up to $110,000, a little over $110,000 into a charity and make it completely tax-free. So looking at all the angles here, because of the phase out of some of these things, you still would get the 12,000 if your income comes under 150,000. So utilizing that QCD deduction, it might work for you. And the only way to do this, and this is why I was so excited about talking to everybody today, is it's a lot like playing bumper pool. You shoot a ball over here and it hits that ball and it saves you this, but you really have to do a mathematical equation in order to see if it's going to save you money.
And also, you can give me the figures on this one too. Some other things that come into play for him. I mean, obviously they have money with what they just told us. Their gifting has gone up per person to $19,000,
Right.
correct? Also, the exclusion for your estate when you pass went up even
It's
more.
now $15 million and $30 million in a joint return, second to die.
So not many people can qualify for that here in Buffalo, but there are some. So this person might, with how much he has an interest in dividends and capital gains. So,
And they might itemize on the state of New York.
yeah.
And yeah, and then
And again, it all depends on if he does charity. If he does charity and he does the QCD, he'll save all that taxable income. So it all depends on the nature of how they do their contributions.
yeah.
Many people that are taking required minimum distributions, especially those of you that give substantial amounts of money to your church or charity, would do much better off doing the QCD because it would save you a lot of money.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, you need to call us so we can get you clued in.
And then I want to dial back to that text person that we had about the house for their parents and what their basis was and what their tax responsibility. Next week, we have Jeff Katz on, who is an estate and elder care lawyer. So make sure you have all your questions saved up for that topic
And
next
he's
week, too.
absolutely a wonderful man.
A wealth of knowledge.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, we have any other...
Yeah, there's another text. It says, this has a few questions in it. Have the rules for itemizers changed? Is Medicare premiums included? What income is considered in new tax law?
Okay, so yes, itemizing changed because now they're going to allow you to take the state and local taxes that exceed $10,000 up to $40,000.
And doesn't-
so that like liberalizes everything. And so yes, itemizing has really changed.
Opened
and of
up
course,
the door.
Medicare has always been a medical deduction
Potential.
if it exceeds 7.5%.
And
of your
isn't there a
adjusted gross
floor
income.
for charity now? That you have to
They only allow you 90.
Oh, yeah. So if you're an upper income person, you will lose 0.5% of your charitable deduction now.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, we're talking about somebody making.
And then the
substantial money.
income that is considered in a new law. So that's a really exciting topic that they have and this is a person who put 3 questions in there, is that if your overtime income, part of it might be excluded and part of your tip income might be excluded from your income. And so they want to know what income is considered and not considered
I
in
was
tax
just
law.
moving on to that.
Okay.
Since everybody knew that stuff, I just thought I'd save the best for last. So, and we talked about the charity, $1,000 single, married, joint, $2,000 without itemizing. All right, so everybody, I think, understands that tip income up to $25,000 is going to be tax-free. So that's if you're in the 20% bracket, you save $5,000 in taxes right there. Boom.
Wow.
Now, but bear in mind, unless New York State follows suit with the federal, that's not going to be the same on New York State. So you're going to end up doing a federal return with federal laws and a New York State return that doesn't necessarily parallel the federal. Right? So tip income 2025 is going to be tax-free up to $25,000. Okay? If your income is under $300,000 married filing a joint return, $150,000 single. Overtime, the first $12,500 in overtime for each spouse up to $25,000 between the two of you. Again, up to $300,000 married, joint $150,000 single, is also going to be tax-free. The interesting thing is this, because in some of these situations, you might be taking $50,000 off your tax return. You want to make sure that if you have other forms of income that you can take out, like for instance, in an annuity or an IRA, this might be a great chance to move money from a traditional to a Roth IRA and not to have it cost you anything.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
And that's where planning comes in.
That's right, and that's what we want you to do. We want you to understand how this is going to affect you. And more than anything, if $50,000 came off of your tax return from overtime and tip income, change your W-4 at work. Don't have all that money stockpiled at the IRS so that you get it back next year. Change your W-4 so that you get that the taxes you would have paid that you're not going to owe. Get it so that you can get it as part of your living expenses now.
That's right. That's right.
All right, we got another text here.
Do you want to do a break before the?
Oh yeah, we'll take a short break, then we'll be back with your call. Hey, to us, you are family. Want to wish you a wonderful Saturday. Feels like Florida. And we're here talking about the big, beautiful bill. And I'm going to tell you, if there's things in this bill that you aren't aware of, you can give EG Tax a call. You can go to our website at egtax.com. We will sit down with you and we'll look at the maneuverability of some of these things to make sure you're maximizing your refund next year, minimizing your tax liability. And so many of these things are retro to 2025. And that's what's so important. Okay, we got Jim Holding.
Yep.
Hey, Jim, how can we help you?
Hi, how's it going? I have a question regarding the deductibility of the overtime. So right now it's $12,500 if you're filing single, $25,000 if you're filing married.
Well, not really. It's 12.5, and it's 25, but it looks like each one has to make that income.
Yeah, I took a look at that. It doesn't specifically say that, and income is really not differentiated on when you're married filing jointly,
Right.
anyways, is it?
Yes, it is.
It looks to me like it's going to be 12,000 each, 12.5
Okay.
each, and a lot of this stuff again just came out, but it looks to me that's what they're going to do, 12.5 and 12.5.
Yeah, I noticed the wording was different with the tips and the
Yes.
and the overtime.
Right.
And it
The
did
tips
just say,
is just 25,000, but on the overtime it looks like it's 12,500 each spouse.
right. Yep. So that's because in my case, only one of us works, but I would very definitely have 25,000 in overtime. My wife obviously wouldn't have anything. So
Right.
Very cool.
Well,
That's great stuff. Do you guys have children?
deductibility.
Do you have children?
Unfortunately, none are young. So
Okay.
all are home,
It's
but
many
none are
times
young.
that's a blessing, you know.
Oh boy.
But it's, the thing is, if you have that extra income, modify your withholding. Why send money into the IRS that you don't need to do? Change your W-4 at work.
That's actually another issue. I'm not allowed to change that.
You're not.
No,
because
I came into your
they
office
called you
one time.
in on having a certain amount of withholdings?
Yeah, I 10, 15 years ago or so, they had an online calculator.
Yeah.
And I did it, and it said, I had a lot of I have 5 kids. I had a lot of deductions.
Oh.
And it said, it came out I could be married in 22.
Yes.
Subtracted 10 from that, did married in 12, and then at least a year later, they said I was filing a frivolous form and I could no longer. So now I'm single and zero. Long story short.
Oh my God. Do you owe any more to the IRS?
No, I always get a large.
So I think they would let you to switch that now.
I think that's not. I think it's a fallacy. I think you're able. As
I think
long
you
as
could
it's
switch it
not,
now,
As
Jim.
long as it's not abusive. you should be able to
It's
change
sort of
your.
funny because that non-ability to change has actually followed me from job to job. And of course, like my present job, I can go online and change it. And I
Right.
was able to change it on the state form, but on the federal form, or for the federal withholding, it's actually grayed out. I can't
Oh, wow.
physically change it.
I wonder if we get a tax advocate. Or...
Yeah, it doesn't sound right to me. But anyway, so you just get a gigantic refund at the end of the year.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I've been doing, and which isn't the worst thing in the
No,
world, but I
yeah.
realize I'd rather not be giving the IRS my
Right.
money all year
Absolutely.
long. So.
But you know what? If you get a chance, Jim, call us because we'll try to get a taxpayer advocate involved and see if they have
A means.
that they will release you from that bondage because
Yeah.
it's absolutely
Onerous.
an estimate, So
Right. Yeah.
if we can help you, we'd be happy to do it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Enjoy
Have
the
a great
beautiful weather, maybe the taste of buffalo.
I'm walking down there right now as we speak.
Yeah, is it
All right.
crazy? Is it a mob or you don't know yet?
Actually, I haven't gotten there yet. I'm literally walking to there.
Well, enjoy the taste of buffalo.
And thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. The other thing is, if you're in the market for an electric vehicle and you're looking at that $7,500 credit, you better do it by September 30th because the electric vehicle credit closes September 30th of 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So that's another change.
yeah, and a lot of the energy credits are going away at the end of the year too, right? The windows, the doors, the furnace.
Right, absolutely. But so here's the thing: with all of these changes, it really does you well if you have all this income that's not going to. And remember, these are only 3-year changes. Most of these expire at the end of 2028. So you want to make sure that you utilize all of these changes to the best of your ability. For instance, if you're saving $40,000 in income and you haven't been contributing to your 401k plan at work because you didn't have the money to do it, now you do.
That's right.
Because then you get the benefit of the tax law change and you can put money into your pension plan, which is all a good thing. And it's only a 3-year deal. After 3 years, a lot of these things go away.
Yep. Yeah, that's the wonderful thing about taxes. Always changing.
It's like the weather. If you don't like it, wait 20 minutes, it'll change.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't want to cause controversy right now, but I'm going to say too, one of the other things was the Medicaid changes where they want people to work 80 hours
A month.
a month. Well, if you take somebody who's not working, who has 3 kids, and now they work 80 hours a week and they live in New York,
80 hours a month.
80 hours a month, sorry, that would mean they're making about $15,000 a year. How much of a refund are they going to get, Esther?
They're going to get an earned income credit. So they're going to, and because they weren't working before, they didn't qualify for the earned income
Yep.
credit. So now because they're forcing them to go to work and they have children, then they're going to get a refundable child tax credit of probably $8,000.
Yeah.
And so, and plus the earned income credit, plus the child tax credit, depending upon how many kids, so they might get a refund of $12,000.
Just the federal.
Just the federal without New York State.
And there's a text, I just want to sneak it in. Good afternoon. My spouse inadvertently had taxes withheld from an inherited Roth IRA. Is this just money in the bank, or will it help us more with our tax liability when tax time comes?
I mean, if it was a Roth IRA that was qualified, in other words, you had it in there long enough and you already paid the taxes, then it's going to be just money in the bank that they aren't paying you any interest on.
Right, but if you usually have a balance due, that will help.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, so here's the thing. Especially people with children that you want them to go to private school, you gotta find out a charity that's going to be, it's a charity that gives vouchers So you want to give up to $1,700 to that charity, and you're going to get a full $1,700 credit on your tax return. Here's the thing. Let's say you don't have a tax liability, right? Right, Chris? Isn't that Tiff?
Yep.
Yeah.
So what happens to that $1,700 credit?
It goes
I
away.
think it just carries forward.
Yeah.
So if you have the opportunity, and again, this is all tax planning, if you have an opportunity to come up with taxable income so that you can use that $1,700 credit, that would be best. So like if you have an IRA or an annuity and you've just been stockpiling it, just because they make you start taking your money out once you're 70 and a half, 73 actually, doesn't mean that you can't take it out early. And in some of these situations, with especially this $12,000 credit for people 65 or over, and the increased standard deduction, it might be the best time to take money out of your IRA tax free.
Mm-hmm.
Tax
crazy.
free.
Yep. Well, we got another call real fast. We got Marty from Buffalo.
Hey, Marty.
Hey, Esther, there's going to be the new $6,000 deduction for older adults who earn no more than $75,000.
Right.
What's their IRS's definition of earn?
It's adjusted gross income. So it's your
gross
total.
income?
It's going to be all of your total income. If you're single, 75, it cuts off the full 6,000, cuts off at 75, 150 if you're filing a joint return. It's not earned income; it's adjusted gross income.
Adjusted gross. Okay, it would be like interest also, and
Interest, dividends, pensions, your
Okay.
taxable Social Security,
Okay.
wages, and remember, if you have wages and you're working, and you're over the age of whatever age you are, if you have wages, you can put money into an IRA. So it's a great strategy.
great, super answer. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great Saturday.
You too.
All right, and so that's it. I mean, there's a lot of changes, a lot of things, a lot of details that we don't know. As they come spilling out, we're going to make sure that you know. Ask the Tax Lady every Saturday on WBEN. In the meantime, you can go to our website at egtax.com, and I guess you guys are probably going to go back and go swimming this afternoon, right?
We're going to go to the casino, I think.
For dinner.
To the casino.
For dinner.
Somewhere cool.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
someplace cool.
Cool.
That's good.
It is cool
Well,
there. It's cool.
That's
Cool.
great. Well, I'm Esther Gullius, the Tax Lady. I'm going to the movies. I'm going to go see
Jurassic
Park.
It'll be cool in the movies.
It will. Maybe too cool, actually. So thanks for listening. During the week, we do this at no charge. We want to help. So give us a jingle at 632-7886. Visit our website at egtax.com. Have a wonderful weekend. God bless you. See you next week.